during 2012 and 2013. I became a fan of Saberspark when I was in high school, and I found his essay video titled Ballad of the Brony back in 2011. After graduating and turning 18, I added him on Skype to tell him I was... Oh, in high school, okay. After graduating and turning 18, I added him on Skype to tell him I was a big fan of his. He added me back almost instantly, and we had a conversation ending with him giving me his phone number, which was a really big deal to me at the time, since this was the first time interacting with any sort of celebrity. I had developed a parasocial crush on him due to being starstruck, which was something that he was aware of. We would talk on Skype and text each other frequently leading up to the first time meeting him, okay? In 2012, I went to my first pony convention. You mean like brony convention, right? This was my first time ever traveling by myself, and was soon after the two of us became friends. When I met up with him in person, he invited me to his hotel room and showed me the video he was editing in his laptop, on his laptop. I wonder if timeout bell for 10 seconds. Will the messages get removed? I'm not going to time you out, bell, lol. Just in the future, okay? Just like chill, Jesus. When I met him, he invited me, he was on his laptop, causing me to internally geek out. I was really nervous being alone in the hotel room with someone. I was a huge fan of... Okay, what the fuck, dude? Okay, already, like, big fucking crazy. I mean, if it's true that, like, you know, you caused the woman to go to your fucking, hotel room, right? A high school girl, to go to your hotel room alone. That's just kind of weird, right? Okay, but we'll see, okay? So I was nervous being in a hotel room with someone. I was a huge fan of him, but I had a crush on him, but I tried to play it cool. He was 4 to 5 older than me, making me feel more nervous and out of place. He'll bring up the prospects of two of us dating and how it didn't feel right for us to do so. Okay. After that, he almost immediately initiated making out with me and guided me to his bed. In this moment, he did not directly ask me for consent. I was thrown onto his bed, and he would insert himself into me. Saberspark was also significantly larger than me. Nice way of saying to us that he's fucking morbidly obese. I'm kidding, all right? I would insert, and he would insert himself into me, okay? I was an 80-something pound, 18-year-old girl, so I physically could not stop him. Okay, so she was in high school and she is 18-year-old, so she's technically legally an adult. So this is a rape allegation. This is not a grooming or sex with minor allegation. Okay, I felt extremely nervous and uncomfortable because I had never experienced having any sort of sexual intimacy with someone I was not dating before, much less someone I just met. I was very new to meeting people online in general. At that moment, I laid there disassociating, right, as it felt very wrong, while trying to rationalize it in my head to convince myself that it was a safe and normal encounter. He rushed off to clean and finish himself and came back to the bed and offered me a handshake saying, "Friends?" This would cause me for the rest of the event to feel like I was taken advantage of and ashamed of myself for not trying to stop the interaction. Though I tried pretending I was fine to everyone around me, I am and still a demisexual, and being put in that position was not something I wanted. Okay. I maintained the friendship until a second occurrence happening at a completely different PonyCon in 2013. This time, we met in a public space but had no one around and talked for a while. He kept bringing up the prospects of us starting a relationship, how I felt wrong. He would grab my hand saying how it felt so right, only to push my hand away saying, "But so wrong." Dude, this is starting to sound like a fanfic. What the fuck, dude? This is starting to sound like a, It's starting to sound like a, how do you say it? Like, the webtoons. This is starting to sound like a webtoons fucking doujinshi, okay, or whatever the fuck. It's like, oh, but it feels so right, but it feels so wrong, but it feels so right. Oh god. Oh, as I felt himself on top of me. Okay, sorry. Fuck. Okay, let me continue. He would grab my hand saying how I felt so right, only point by I had decided my crush on him was something I needed to get over because I felt like my emotions were being toyed with. He then suggested going to a more public space around others, and we went into an elevator to go to the lobby of the PonyCon Hotel. As soon as the door opened, Saberspark forcefully shoved me against the wall and shoved his tongue down my throat. Wait, what? So, vicious rape? So the allegation here is like vicious rape. This sounds like something you need to bring to the cops. It scared me and actually hurt, triggering another attack of disassociation. Once again, he did not ask me for consent when throwing me into this situation. Once the doors opened, and people were present. This led to me to feel very embarrassed. He got off me and took my hand and guided me toward the stairs to go back down to where we were and into a men's restroom where he pulled his pants down and guided my hands and head to perform oral sex on him. Wait, you didn't scream for help? Wait, so like you were guided through like an entire area, but like did you realize that you were like getting raped in that moment? Did you like cry out for help, or is this like a post, or is this like a post nut clarification, or is this a post nut kind of thing going on? I was afraid of denying him because of the past experiences with sexual assault, so I did it to get it over with without wanting to cause a problem. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, you did not like stop him at any time? Where he would ejaculate on his, like, I'm just curious, like, what she said to him to communicate to him that she was not okay with this. Like, obviously, it seems like this was, like, obviously not okay, right? But, like, where exactly is, like, yeah, where exactly, I guess, is, like, her, fucking, telling him, hey, I was not okay. She performed the whole act for him. Yeah, I'm just a little confused. All right. Yeah. Okay. And then the same handshake as he did, I initially managed saying friends. Despite pretending I was fine, I slowly began pulling away from Saberspark. I cried that night while staying with a friend, but waited for that friend to fall asleep so no one could hear me, and I would cry for months, feeling ashamed for myself, putting myself in such a compromising situation with someone I hardly knew. Okay? I had always felt taken advantage by him and tried being friendly and pretending nothing was wrong because it was all I knew how to do. I blamed myself for the interactions for years, only opening up to a few close people, questioning if consent was implied because of my crush, and unwillingness and fear to outright try to stop the advances because of how uncomfortable I felt. I understand that there is a possibility that he felt consent was implied because he knew I had a crush on him. However, he did not once ask me for consent directly. I mean, that's not good, but have you said, no, I'm not comfortable with this? Or is this like a, fuck, I didn't have the opportunity to express anything. So I was forced into and thrown into this scenario. Um, but instead of throwing into these sexual encounters, usually very suddenly. Well, I mean, like, to be fair, sure, maybe, right? But like, you were being dragged through the building of the convention, and did you cry for help? Like, I'm just a little confused here. There were no discussions about the power dynamic between us, a popular content creator, and a fan at any time. And my parasocial connection to him, and not wanting someone I was a fan to would hate me if I rejected him, leaving me afraid to stop his advances. Okay. Okay. Over time, I grew increasingly distant and would eventually end contact completely. I don't feel safe enough to fully come forward because I don't want his friends or friends to even have him or harass or contact me publicly. I wish to stay anonymous so I can avoid the anxiety and stress of being targeted by either him himself, his friends, and especially his fans. Saberspark has over 2 million subscribers, and even sharing my story at all has me feeling really afraid. I've seen other instances of Saberspark using his enormous platform to confront people online he has had conflict with and heard. I have also witnessed several instances of his friends attempting to justify him and his other actions. I was not made aware of his jokes about consent and his recent behavior involving Chris until only recent. Who the fuck is Chris? And it left my stomach in knots. I please ask above all else for my privacy to be respected. I don't wish to publicly defend my personal experience and just wish to share my experience. End of testimony. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. All right. If you're not putting your identity on the line, okay? If you're not willing to put your identity on the line, I just don't see like why I want to take this seriously, okay? If you're not willing to put your identity and any evidence or testimonies from anybody else on the line, I feel like I f- yeah, like I feel like this is not really nothing to be taken. I mean, it's just kind of disgusting, I guess, that this would release without any kind of evidence. Trigger warning. The following is a testimony of rape by coerced consent between Saberspark and the victim. In said testimony, there were 2 isolated incidents in 2000. Okay, this is all like here. This will be in a video expose by I Love Kim Possible a Lot, releasing today. Okay, this person wishes to remain anonymous, although can be reached for question at this. This story, as well as more, will be included in the previously mentioned video expose by I Love Kim Possible a Lot. Okay, the process is want to access the original one? Yeah, sure. Give it to me. Okay, Linktree. Give me YouTube. All right, and subscribe. Subscribe. Okay. All right. Have you released the video? You have not released the video just yet. Okay, cool. We'll be expecting that video, I guess. I love Kim Possible a lot. And thanks for the video feedback. I'll only say I'll be retooled. What ruined Saberspark in DA games? Is this it? Is this what we're talking about? Video unavailable. This video is private. Well, that's suspicious. Please stop relishing in Saber's demise and the replies to a break testimony. Relish joy. Okay, I also have a question, okay? If this happened so long ago, why didn't you go to the cops for it? Why didn't you go to the cops for it? Why didn't, like, anything happen, right? Like, what exactly is going on here? Like, where is the paper trail, right? Because if you're gonna come out as an allegation with an allegation like this, fuck. Okay, maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself. Maybe it's a rushed judgment. Maybe it's completely innocent. Who knows? Okay, let me see. All right. It was asked. I had a bunch of comedy skits. We can find it re-upload. Yeah, sure. Let me see. So you can just link it to me. Let me see. So this is Saberspark. Rape allegations. Okay. So this was the same Saberspark that attacked the father for defending his kid. Yes. Okay. Is this just a bunch of like Saberspark anti-fans? This was the Lie I Love was one of the most self-indulgent and disrespectful videos I've seen in a long time, riddled with tons of situations that she makes all about her, and full of crappy memes and tasteless jokes. This video is embarrassing for allegations as serious as this. What the hell? Yeah, this is like severe allegations. Like this is like next level type shit, right? Like what I'm looking at here is like this is vicious rape. Okay, this isn't just like, oh, we were in a relationship and during the relationship I was sexually abused or something, right? And even that is like rape, whatever, right? But this is like stranger, like fucking like vicious rape, right? Like this is what we're talking about. Like what the fuck? This is crazy. All right, like for something like this, you better have testimony. What the fuck? Like this was a brony, yeah, but like where exactly is? Can I just get some evidence? Can I just get some evidence? There is none? Are you sure? Or was it deleted? You sure the evidence wasn't deleted? You sure about that? Saberspark's team announced that he will not be streaming for the week. Hey guys, there will not be a stream. Okay, cool. Via Brony Friendom. Okay. Has to catch up on a few things. Why do these people at YouTube Drama just take it at face value? Why do these morons just take it at face value? What the fuck? With no evidence? With no evidence? You guys just take it at face value? Saberspark. Wait, where is the allegations? Saberspark allegations video, where is it? The Saberspark allegations are bad. What is going on? Uh-oh.
All right, so today we have a story.
What the fuck is this? Gamma 4,690 subscribers?
Fresh off the presses, which means that I immediately need to preface this video by saying that what you are about to see are just allegations levied by an anonymous source through a third party. So don't just jump to conclusions and start making assumptions, as there is very
Gamma, one of
limited information here to make any real verdict. On May 1st, 2025, at exactly 9 a.m., depending on where you live in the United States, an account by the name of Brony Fan Don't posted this tweet, bringing forward some allegations against a notorious animation/cartoon channel known as Saberspark. So for those of you who know a little bit about this situation, this tweet was posted multiple hours before a video was set to release going over these allegations, but the information is exactly the same across this tweet and the video, so if you can't find the original video, just know it's pretty redundant, but we'll get into that later. Now, these allegations start with an ex-fan stating that in 2011, they became a fan of Saberspark after watching his video titled Ballad of the Brony, which, funnily enough, happens to be Saberspark's first ever upload. This individual then states after turning 18, they added Saberspark on Skype, exchanged phone numbers, which was a very big deal for them at the time, as this was the first time they had talked to any sort of celebrity. In 2012, this person attended their first pony convention, in which they described was the first time they traveled alone, and was soon after Saberspark and them became friends. It is alleged that after meeting Saberspark in person, he invited this individual back to his apartment, where they showed a video Saberspark was working on, which caused them to internally
I don't care. Okay, we know.
Maintain the friend with someone at all has celebrity or something similar. There's just too many phrasings here that feel as if they were made to inflate the severity of these alleged interactions. The reason why it's important to take note of this is because in the past, allegations that have been levied in this fashion were not entirely transparent, or they utilized mistruths. I'm not saying that is the case here, but it's important to take things like this into consideration before condemning someone. There is also the issue that this story is tied into a much larger story involving a person known as Chris, which apparently motivated this person to speak out against Saberspark. And this does bring into question what the true motive was here. Furthermore, the way that this was delivered also seems to have been done in the most amateur way possible, with there being no further digging into the story, no pushback, and no attempt to make sense of the allegations being levied. And honestly, it feels a bit bad faith, especially when you take a look into what these people have to say after bringing forward
bad faith. How could you fucking say that about a freshly 18 rape survivor? How could you possibly say that against a barely 18 rape survivor? You fucking heinous moron. You evil person. How could you possibly say that? I thought I heard an owl. Might want to check your room. No, that was my landlord playing his trumpet, not trumpet or whatever. He's like a jazz band leader person. I'm freshly 18 foods. Yeah, I know you're freshly 18. I groomed you, remember?
These allegations in their video.
One point in her testimony where she questions, if I'm remembering this correctly, that like maybe she was at fault because she had a crush on him, like maybe she gave the wrong signal or something. Maybe she implied something, or he thought consent was implied because he knew there was a crush on her. Like, in all honesty, consent is never implied.
They go on to deny the existence of implied consent and contradict themselves in the same conversation just a little bit later by describing a situation that's okay in their book that is literally implied consent.
Flashing her titties in the rock star's face, probably making out with him a bit of her own volition, and one of them saying, hey, let's go back and sleep in the van. Like, there are multiple instances where consent is very, very clearly given by the groupie sleeping with the rock star. And, like, yeah, there may be a certain power dynamic, and, like, there absolutely is multiple instances of rock stars abusing that to be like, hey, well, I'm famous, show me your titties. But there's a big difference between going, hey, I'm famous, show me your titties, and someone going, I'm showing you my titties because I want to sleep with you. Right? Like,
and nowhere in this conversation did they attempt to be charitable, attempt to analyze the situation, or give any pushback about there being a potential miscommunication instead of a fan being purely taken advantage of, and instead give all of the benefit to this person who only decided to come out with a story 13 years later.
And I also find it really, really weird that this dude meets a fan, gets the inkling she has a crush on him, so he...
Oh no, not the really, really weird, okay? When a girl pulls out the really, really weird, it's fucking over.
He invites her back to his hotel room. Okay, like, getting invited back to the hotel room has sexual connotations, and the fact that she didn't realize that just shows how naive she was, and the fact that none of that was communicated.
Oh, naive.
Because clearly,
What if the whole entire story was fake, could not be traced back, and, you know, and she was a fucking dumbass? Here's the thing, okay, it could entirely be a real story, right? But, like, from what I see so far, it's just, like, I just find no reason to take this seriously. It just seems like a whole fucking whack-a-mole, devious, deceptive, dandy plan, okay, of devious intent.
He knew what he was inviting her back to the hotel room for, but she didn't. And that just gives me, like, the major ick, to be quite honest, because, like...
Oh no, not the major ick. Wait, where the fuck is this? Wait, from what video? Is this the video that, the I Love Kim Possible account? Is that where it came from? Is this from the I Love Kim Possible account, like this video? Oh no, not the major ick. It's fucking Joker.
It's really as if Saber is acting
Holy
like he's
shit.
Gene Simmons inviting you back to, you know, the hotel room, when in reality he's a pudgy brony YouTuber showing you his animations before.
Bro, not the fat shaming, dude.
He shows you his dick. Like, that's not the same thing at all.
These people don't even know to what extent
What?
these allegations are true, and they're already casting this claim that these two situations cannot be compared and that he took advantage of this girl's naivety when we don't actually know what even took place here. We don't even know the dynamics at play, and we don't have any evidence that can lead us to any reasonable conclusion. Of course, allegations like these are very complicated due to how little room there is to navigate a one-sided claim that has very little to no evidence to back it. The most proper course of action here would be to wait for a response and not jump to conclusions, which, funnily enough, are standards that the author of the video set for monitoring their communities, but didn't even follow themselves. With that being said, you may come to your own conclusions. Feel free to disagree with anything that I said. This is a developing story that may or may not evolve the more time passes. This is the end of the video. Stick around for a short plug. If you feel like watching live drama coverage where I dig into situations like these and give my take raw, join the Discord in the link in the description to catch live streams as stories arise. Thanks for watching. Later.
Okay, so we can all agree this was a complete nothing burger, right? And also, fuck these people who constantly come out with fake-ass allegations of ruining other people's careers. Okay, these people fucking suck. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Alright, Saberspark allegations. Let me just search on Twitter to see if there's anything. Sarah received allegations, and the make a victim ended up fumbling it already. It hasn't even been a day, and their video is privated. So it's fucking over. All right. This video should have been split up into two. I think one. Does anybody have access to this video? People definitely should have downloaded it, right? 100%. Let me see. So in the chat of the video with the Saberspark allegations, Courtney, a main person in the video, was hostile to anyone questioning anything. Lamau. Okay. Courtney is being extremely unprofessional to a CSA victim offering genuine criticism and concern. Well, what if there was actually no actual CSA motherfucker, okay? Well, what if there actually wasn't any CSA happening right here? Shkur cut off and kill the project with her? Okay. I don't know what that means. All right, cool. So that was a complete nothing, complete nothing burger, right? Anything else to comment on here? So basically nothing happened, right? Can we? I guess we can just. I guess that's it. That's it. That's just the end of it. No evidence, no testimony from anybody else from back in the day, no police report, no rape kit, right? This sounds like something you can get a rape kit for, right? Like 100%. This is something it feels like you can get a rape kit for. All his peers are cutting off. Yeah, fuck that shit, dude. No, like fuck people around him who is cutting him off or something like this. Like, there's just literally no fucking evidence. There's nothing. Oh my god. Okay. All right, cool, awesome. Let's just move on, I guess. Okay. I'm glad that literally fucking nothing happened.